Hello, I am Nathan, and this is Thunder Up Talk. So today I just wanted to talk about three big questions that I have from Media Day. These aren't necessarily questions, my biggest three questions heading into the season, but three questions that I have just after Media Day. So the first one is by far the biggest one. It's by far the most important, far more important than questions two and three. And that is, will J-Dub play at the beginning of the season? So when Jalen first had his surgery in the offseason, I was under the impression and thought that he would for sure be good for the beginning of the season. But as we all know, I think we've seen that it really does have a ways to go, his wrist. And we kind of seen and maybe heard some reports that there's still swelling. And so it just feels like after what Jalen has kind of said, what Sam Presti said in his preseason presser, that that obviously we know they're never going to rush their players. They never have, they never will, which is always the best course of action. But it kind of just felt like a bummer that he may be not progressing super quick with the wrist. And again, I could be wrong. Maybe he'll end up playing at the very first game of the season. But to me, it just feels like that's not going to happen. And so I'm just kind of curious when he will play, what that will look like for the Thunder. Do they stick in Caruso? Do they stick in? Probably not. They'll probably go with. Um, my guess is that they'll go with Case and Walls. So that's by far the biggest question after Media Day for me. Number two, we find out that Kenrich Williams had arthroscopic procedure on his knee. So usually, that's just really minimally invasive. But they said that it will take 6 to 8 weeks before they will reevaluate him. So that just means that will be the soonest that he'll be able to play. And my question for this is, why is he just not getting the surgery? Why did he not get this in the preseason? Because generally, this is just like something to help, a minor procedure just to help clear things out. Maybe there's a little bit of swelling. This is super common. Um, my guess is, and I've heard this theory, is that it may be because they just want to for sure keep him fresh going into the playoffs later on into the season. So, you know, that does hurt the team. I hate this for Kenrich. Everyone loves Kenrich Williams. He's kind of an OG player on this current roster. He's been with us from what feels like the beginning with this group of guys. And, it does kind of hurt because we did lose Thomas Sorber with his ACL injury. So things get kind of hairy after, if something does happen with Ched or Isaiah Hartenstein at the big position. Kenrich always would fill in that small ball five position. So, and also with Jalen Williams also potentially being hurt, going in, not able to play at the beginning of the season. So, it's not a huge thing, but it's just another kind of injury that we found out about on media day. Um, so hopefully, I don't think that's the end of the world, but hopefully he is able to go as soon as possible because he does add depth for our team, especially for the regular season. And then the third thing that I kind of found interesting was that Jalen Williams, he just looked dramatically different when he was talking on media day. He slimmed down a ton. Now, it shows that he went from 250 last year to 241, a difference of just 9 pounds. But whatever he did, he looks dramatically different. You can just really tell that he's slimmed down. So my question is, what will a lighter J Will look like on the court? How does that change things on like is he able to guard smaller, faster guys a little bit more this year? All of this helps, I think, him, possibly get more minutes because he's always been a tweener, kind of too small to guard super huge guys, even though he did a great job against Jokic in spot minutes. But again, I think this just helps him for sure be able to get more minutes on the court, especially now. I think this is really big for Jalen Williams. I really think he's taking advantage of potential opportunities on the court with Thomas Sorber being hurt, with like I said, Kenrich being hurt, and with Jalen Williams being hurt. It'll be interesting to see what he looks like on the court. So, and then just of note, they have Topich in at 218 pounds, going from 201 to 218, a 17. Uh, I mean, it's muscle watch, baby. 17 pound differential is pretty crazy. So that'll be interesting to see what that looks like on the court. So yeah, number one is Jalen Williams, J Dub. Will he be able to go at the beginning of the season? Kenrich Williams, what will that look like? How will that affect our team? And then Jalen Williams, what will a lighter Jalen Williams look like on the court? So those are my three kind of big questions after media day. Let me know what your big three, or if you had any other takeaways from media day as well. I will talk to you later. Thunder up.